Let's check in with State Farm agent Joe Demos.
We're here today with State Farm agent Joe Demos. Joe, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it, Drew.
Well, we've been talking about homeowners insurance and things that people need to know. We're transitioning from winter to spring. Tell us a little bit about what I need to know as a homeowner that has to do with my insurance policy.
Well, Drew, whether you're buying your first home or you've been a homeowner for 50 years, whether it's a brand new home or one of Huntsville's historic homes that have been around for hundreds of years, there are some common themes that people need to be concerned with and check periodically, especially as the seasons transition from cold to warm or warm to cold. Biggest one being, especially here in Huntsville, is your roof. I think that's the one probably most people are most aware of with the amount of hail we've had here. I think some of the simple things you can do are on an annual basis, check your gutters, make sure they're clean before the spring rains come. You don't want water backing up in them. Have a competent professional come out and check your ridge caps or ridge vents to make sure they're still sealed down properly. Vent stacks are a big thing. As we go from hot to cold and cold to hot, the caulking and the sealants around those expand and contract, and a lot of leaks come in there. It's a simple matter to recaulk those. And make sure your shingles are in good shape and laying down flat. Just like I said, just like your air conditioning system, your roof is a system that needs to be checked. And just as you've had your air conditioner or your furnace checked at the beginning of the winter time, it's not a bad idea to have your roof checked at the beginning of spring.
Okay, so that's if I was a homeowner. What if I haven't closed on my house yet? What if I'm renting a house? Is there anything that I need to be aware of in that respect?
Well, you want to check those same elements, and maybe it's the landlord's responsibility to check the roof to protect your belongings inside. But as someone who doesn't own the home they're in, whether it's an apartment, condo, or house, at the very least you need some sort of renter's insurance. Renter's insurance protects not just your belongings, but also your liability. People ask me all the time, what is liability? Well, just like your car. If you hurt someone else's property, you need to be covered for that. The simple case that happens a lot in a renter's issue is someone's cooking bacon and they go to take care of their child or answer the phone, and they come back and the bacon has either smoked up the house or caught fire. And you as the renter would be legally liable for that. The landlord is going to cover the building, but you're still legally liable for the damages to that building, so you have to pay for it. Your liability coverage under a renter's policy would potentially protect you in that event. And again, it's too cheap not to have. If you can afford a pizza once a month or a CD, you can really afford renter's insurance.
Well, that's great. Joe, we've talked about homeowners insurance, we've talked about renter's insurance. What happens if I'm a relocation person coming in like with BRAC or any other one of the companies here? Tell me a little bit about what I need to know as a transferee.
Drew, that's a really good question. One of the most important things you want to do as someone moving from your old hometown to your new hometown is you want to get with your insurance agent and perhaps your realtor in your old hometown and make sure if you're leaving your home there, you want to make sure it's properly covered. If you're going to rent it out, that's a different kind of policy than a homeowner's policy. You want to make sure you're covered for liability as well as the home itself is covered. If you're going to be staying there occasionally and going back and forth, there are situations there that can be taken care of with your insurance agent. Or if the home is going to be vacant while you're showing it, you want to get your realtor and your insurance agent together and make sure that you've addressed those issues. Again, then as you move into your new hometown, renter's insurance is something that's too cheap not to have. You want to make sure your liability is covered. You want to make sure your belongings are covered. Right. And as folks move in, what we try to do is sit down and have a personalized conversation with them, my team and I, about what they and their family really need.
So that kind of takes us into a little term that's being thrown around these days, bundling. Does that have any effect with what's going on in the insurance market?
It does. One thing that bundling does is, it gets your important coverages under one company that you can know, like, and trust, and then let them take care of you. Again, we try to have a very personalized approach and take care of people in the fashion they need to be taken care of, not how we think. The other thing it's going to do is offer them some very nice discounts.
Right.
So as we sit down and talk about that, and maybe even that last-minute IRA for tax time, those are the kind of things we handle on an individual basis.
Okay, well, be sure that whenever you have insurance needs, call Joe Demos at State Farm Insurance. The number's on your screen. And Joe, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Drew.
Okay.